Hey, what's up? It's Bill Smith. I had a big day today. I just want to share with you everything that's been going on. I know a lot of you aren't like super actively involved, and I know a bunch of you just put this stuff on playlists so you can like listen to it at work or while you're mowing the lawn or whatever it is that you do. So I just want to catch you up on what my day's been like and share with you some really, really cool stuff that has been happening. So number one, I released this video today. I've been following this BackChannel17 account on Twitter. It looks like it's Julian Assange. No one has any definite confirmation on it. He's the only one that can tell us, okay? And no one's talked to him in a while, at least not publicly. He's probably not in the embassy anymore. It looks like WikiLeaks has turned on him. They're openly saying, it's us or him. So if you got to pick, man, why would you pick the person? You have no idea who's running that organization anymore. Stop sending them money. Okay, don't be a fool. Pick a better place to send your money if you're going to send money. But WikiLeaks is not the place to do it. All right. Second off, I just want to say if you're a YouTube content creator and you're watching my videos and then you're taking that content and then making your own videos, please continue to do that. But would you at least mention me so that people can come to my channel and find more information? It just makes sense. I don't do that to anybody else. I'm not stealing anybody's content. I tried to plug as many reputable sources as possible. So please do the same for me. All right? Don't be a gatekeeper. You know who you are. I'm not going to say your name. Just be respectful of what I'm up to. That's all I'm asking. With that, I want to give a shout out to this guy. Wired into the grid. Thanks, dude. That comment you sent me totally fixed my copy-paste browser issue, so I want to clear that up. I'm not being deep state targeted or Googleized. It was a browser issue. I don't know if I had a browser update or what happened, but the video you sent me fixed it. So I want to clear that up with everybody. That's what's been going on. Okay, so after I posted this video, within 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, it was quick. I got this. So what up, Doug Freshness? He sent me this. He said, look into this the Spy account on Twitter. It's brand new. It just popped up today. And this account started asking us to ask questions and then started giving really good responses. So I want to cover this thread with you right now. We're going to try to squeeze as much as this in as possible I can in like 15 minutes. We'll try to get through everything, but you can come check this out. It's the Spy. You know, that there it is right there. It's only been up for a little bit. And I was asking some questions. Okay, the questions I got, obviously, do aliens exist? What's under Antarctica? And tell me about megalithic structures. That's my thing. I've studied megalithic structures like intensely. I've been to Peru. I've looked at these rocks, all right, with drill holes in it and cut marks. There's just no possible way you could do it with bronze tools. So somebody was here with technology before we had our current, human civilization. So I want answers about that. Like, that's what I'm asking for. I mentioned Baalbeck, Lebanon. That's the land of Qanon. It's different. So the megalithic structures there were different. They were built after the flood, and it's mentioned in Genesis 6 if you want to go read about it. It's just interesting stuff. That's really my primary, I don't know. I can't get over it. All right, I've been studying this for years. There's just so much there. Okay, so this is what's been happening for the last couple hours. This account, I don't know if it's Julian Assange. Okay, they tweeted out a picture. It was an original photo. It looks like it's in, someone said it's under Cheyenne Mountain or something. I don't have the picture because it was already removed. It was up for a second and then it was taken down. So you got to pay attention to this stuff. You got to be a part of the conversation if you want to track it in real time. I'll do my best to keep up, but I'm just one guy. So with that, we'll get into it. So this popped up and it says, look, you got questions? Good, you should. There's a hell of a lot of confusion about this storm. I'll make it simple. Just ask. Put a question below about anything. I'll give you the real intel. I don't care what. I have access to all of it. You want answers? No secret squirrel Bill Smith here. I'm just kidding. I think that means bull S. But it says, I got you, fam. Okay. So the number one question is WikiLeaks, are they compromised? Big time. They were bought out and comped. They detest Q Intel. They pretend to fight for Julian Assange's freedom while milking money out of dupes. So like I said, if you're sending WikiLeaks money, stop. All right? It's an organization. I don't have the background on it. I'm not super familiar with this, but I've been hearing rumors since 2016 that they were pretty much taken over and Julian was pushed out. So don't send them money. There's better people to donate to if that's what you want to do. They said, when was the last time they leaked actual intel? It's kind of weird that this comment's here because today they quote-unquote leaked the Tommy Robinson sentencing documents, which, whatever. You know, that's not really... We know where he's at. He's in prison. So, not a lot of value there. All right, so he talks about the lawyer's tweet in reference to BackChannel17. Was that false? Is she in on it? And this account says, false information, yes, but false intent, it's impossible to say. She doesn't even understand the scope of what's happening. The team is kept at a distance. There's no visitors. No one's had contact with Julian in like 2 months, right? So nobody can prove if he was in the embassy or not yesterday. It doesn't look like that. By all intents and purposes, it looks like Julian is already across the ocean, somewhere in the United States. It looks like he's in some kind of like military security bunker, possibly. I'm just guessing from the picture that was up earlier that was taken down. This next question was about the booms. So any info on the mysterious booms around the world? So it says, which ones? There have been a few. So Joe Dirk was like, are they not all connected? Are they man-made? And the answer was most are man-made. There's a few different reasons. Some is geophysical warfare being practiced. Some is upper atmosphere play being done by the HARP scientists. And some belongs to things so literally out of this world you would think me crazy for saying it. I don't know what that last part means. They won't come out and say it. Okay? But somebody mentioned UFOs. I'm thinking it could be that kinetic stuff, that kinetic warfare, those tungsten rods they have, the rods of God up in the satellite systems, where it's like a nuclear payload without the fallout. Kinetic warfare, that would make sense. I think that's what, I don't know this for sure, but maybe that's what took out the North Korean mountain bunker. Just a guess. I don't know. Next question was, will we know the sins of the past as far as JFK goes, John F. Kennedy, and the Franklin cover-up, things like that? The answer was yes, and very soon. This is interesting to me because I watched the JFK assassination movie with Kevin Costner back in the 90s. I was super excited. I knew I'd be old when it came out. And if you remember, Trump released some of it, but he held some of it back. And I think in those documents it talked about Oswald being connected with the CIA. Interesting stuff. Just remember Daddy Bush, the Scherfs. They were involved with the CIA back then. I think he was the director at the time of the JFK assassination. Next question from the same guy, Joe Dirk. Will all info on corruption and evil deeds be accessible by the public who's willing to know? Answer was yes, 100% of it. That's what June 11th is all about. It's going to happen right before the North Korea summit. And no answer to that one. We're just going to continue. Here's one about the Dulce Wars. I don't know much about this, so I'm gonna move past that. But he says Benowitz wasn't crazy. There are things out there that would curl your hair. Okay, interesting. Here's somebody really getting specific. So they're like, look, June 11th, what is it? I'm sick of games. And the answer is, it's the date that the S blows open once and for all. It's going to happen right before the North Korea summit. It seals the deal for POTUS, war on corruption, and is the end of the, quote, witch hunt. It's going to be a big speech thing from Assange about Russia and the Hillary Rodham Clinton stuff. It's going to be good. Bring your popcorn. Now, I've been kind of tracking this a little bit. It looks like John Bolton, I think that's his name. He seems pretty deep state. I don't know what Trump was doing picking him, but this guy tried to derail the talks. He tried to basically threaten the North Korea leadership with the quote-unquote Libya treatment, and people took that as like, you give up your nukes and we lift the sanctions. But then Pence came out and clarified it. He's like, no, this ends like it ended with Gaddafi. And if you remember what happened to Gaddafi, that wasn't, they didn't really treat that guy with respect. And for all intents, it looks like Gaddafi was actually a pretty good leader for Libya. So that scared North Korea out. And then the talks are back on. So I think Bolton and Pence have kind of outed themselves. I've been talking about Pence being dirty since the beginning. He's deep state. He was just there for political reasons. Pence is a problem. So I'm just telling you that. Pence is not on our team. He's a problem. But he doesn't have any power or control, so it really doesn't matter. He does go on to say that this is going to be extremely public. The whole world's going to know about it. There's an unavailable tweet. I don't know what this is. I missed that. Sorry. Can't talk about it. Here's somebody getting crazy. And they go, and I the Spy says, look, you're way over the mark. Don't be offended. I'll be honest, you sound pretty crazy. So that's a good check, I guess. We'll keep going. One more, if I may. Will Barack Obama or Hillary ever do any prison time? And the answer was, prison won't be where they go. They're going to get ghosted. Heads are going to roll soon. And this has kind of been my point from the beginning. If we don't execute people publicly, all right, this stuff is going to come back up. Politicians are rarely held accountable for their actions. So an example needs to be made. It needs to be made in the harshest way possible to scare this stuff off in the future. People aren't afraid of things that there are no consequences from. Here's somebody asking, who is Q? Thank you. No response. Here's something about chemtrails. I talked about this before. Have the chemtrails over Central Texas stop happening for a reason? No response. I don't know. Here's somebody bringing up Nibiru. I think this Nibiru stuff, like, I am seriously more interested in megalithic structures. Okay, I think we need to get rid of the Nibiru stuff. Okay, I know it's in the Sumerian text, whatever. The megalithic structures are real. They're tangible. They have cut marks, drill holes. We need to focus there. It's actual physical, tangible evidence that you can touch. So if you're talking about Nibiru, please start talking about megalithic structures so that normal people can look at stuff. This stuff makes us look crazy, and I think it turns some people off. So, I'm not calling you out, Laura C. Sorry about that. I'm just saying megalithic structures. It's a better place to start. Here's some questions about Antarctica. Now, this is what I was interested in, and there was a response in here somewhere, and I can't find it now, so I'll just move on. But they did bring up this. Hang on a second. This was brought up. There was something in the answer about it being man-made. I don't know, but it's this Edgar Rice Burroughs guy, and it's talking about the Pellucidar. That's the first time I've ever seen that word. I don't know much about this, but I'll link this in the description. There's some interesting stuff in here. Kind of ties back into what I was just talking about. Here's more stuff about WikiLeaks on Q. They're just confirming that WikiLeaks is a compromised entity without a hostage to use anymore, so they don't have Assange locked down anymore. That seems to be a problem for them. I want to squeeze this in real quick. Okay, this is about Meghan Markle. So the interesting thing in here was it says Markle was passed around for years and years. She's part of the Nickelodeon crop. Now, I didn't know this. I did know that her dad is related to the royal lineage, and he was not invited. I think it's because they wanted to play up the multiracial ethnic background, and having a white father there would kind of blow that out. So I'm out of time. I'm going to leave the link in here so you guys can come read about this if you want. There's more stuff here. This is the most important thing that I wanted to get to. I don't have time to cover it. It's about CERN, the Mandela effect, the Karate Kid stuff. But I'm out of time, so this is Bill Smith. Thanks for watching.